Are you interested in investing in real estate here in Portland, Maine? Whether you're a seasoned investor or just getting started, you're going to stick around for this video. Hi there, my name's Nick, and I'm a local real estate agent and content creator. My team and I specialize in finding the right investment properties for our clients' portfolios to help them reach their specific investment goals. In today's video, we're going to be discussing what you need to know before you start investing in Portland's real estate market. And if you have any questions or you want to have a quick, no strings attached phone call, be sure to check the link below, first link in the description, to book a free introduction call. The first thing I want to cover is the benefits of investing in Portland. So if you're starting to look to invest in the Portland real estate market, you'll know that we also have Portland and we also have the cities around it. If you watched any of the videos on this channel before, you know we kind of have the suburbs area of where people live. You know, we're not like a big city where everything's considered a Boston or New York City. It's Portland and then the areas around it. But for the sake of this video, we're going to talk about just Portland. So what is the real estate market like in Portland for investment properties? So there's high demand both for primary residence and rentals inside of the Portland city limits. This is specifically because it's where a lot of our jobs are and a lot of the key restaurants, so lifestyle, but also it's currently, as of March of 2023, it's kind of the only real area where we have public transportation. So as a renter who may not be able to, have a car for everyone in the family or whatever the circumstances are, being in Portland is advantageous. Additionally, like any city, we have limited remaining space to build new buildings. So in terms of the value of your property, there's very low likely chance that your investment property will go down in value. Again, there's high demand. We're seeing with the new laws that are passed in the state of Maine that people are actually adding accessory dwelling units, extra, the room above the garage or in the daylight basement to kind of create or convert their single family houses into multifamily properties. So people are taking advantage of the pent up demand to live in Portland, and they're, building more spaces for people to live and to rent. So in terms of your investment, it's pretty secure to be in Portland. Now, I do need to say for anyone that's looking to invest in the Portland real estate market is we do have rent control. Now, this is new as of a couple years ago. It's still kind of working the kinks out. There's still some hiccups here and there, but for the most part, it's kind of been settled in. And there's some limitations. Now, there's too much to cover in this video. We'd be here for an hour, but at a high level, there's some limitations on short-term rentals. There's more limitations on if it's an absentee owner, like a traditional investment where you don't live in it. Rent control is you're not subject to rent control if you live in one of the units of the property. You're also not subject to rent control if you are doing a subsidized housing like Section 8. So there are some limitations that you need to be aware of. I'm going to talk about my opinion on the matter later on in this video. So if you're interested in that, be sure to stick around. The next thing I want to talk about is the investment strategies I'm seeing working in Portland. So again, this is March 2023. Yeah, we're kind of seeing a little bit of an economic crisis going on. At the time of this recording, it's Monday the 13th. So 3 days ago, we just had 2 major banks collapse. So if you're watching this 6 months from now, who knows where the economy is. But right now, this is some investment strategies I'm seeing work successfully. So first is pre-construction. Obviously, pre-construction is very dependent on if the economy still is booming and people are building. But I actually did a live stream last Friday, so it would have been March 10th. It's going to be on the channel. You can go back and look at it. I talked about pre-construction. We're seeing properties, again, it's because of the economy, you can't rely on appreciation, but people have made significant money on pre-construction. Properties that they put under contract in 2018, they took occupancy in 2020. Now, 2 years later, they're selling. I think the one example I gave, I think they ended up probably putting $70,000 down as a deposit. Then they bring another $70,000 for closing, And then now they're trying to sell it, and they probably will, for $540,000 more than what they paid for. So they're taking their 140 and they're going to make 700,000, so net 500 plus. So pre-construction, great option. The other thing that we're seeing here in Portland is we're seeing conversions. I would say there's very limited conversions left, but still a great option. I've had clients buy a conversion opportunity last fall of 2022, and that is taking these large houses that we have in town and converting them to multifamily properties. You had these, large, giant 3,000, 4,000 square foot single family homes that, either were poorly kind of split up in the 80s and 90s, or they just never were split up, and they could be converted to a 2-family, 3-family property. So I think that's a great option. It's a great way to build equity, buying a single family and converting it. The next option is just smaller multifamilies. Now, this is where you're going to see the bulk of the investment inventory here in Portland. It's like what I just said, the conversions. It's those 2, 3, 4-family properties. You're going to see it both on peninsula, off peninsula. That is the bulk of what we have for investment options. And then finally, you just have the large multifamily properties, the 5+. Now, we don't have the large 100-unit complexes that you would have in the South. I mean, I honestly think there might be, I could count on one hand the amount of properties where it's 20+ units. Now, there is, just for record, there is a developer that's looking to put in, 500+ units here in the next 5 years. So yes, that will be another one of those large complexes, but right now we just don't have that. So it's very unlikely that you're going to find the opportunity to purchase a large complex. So those are kind of the 4 different types of investment properties we have. We have the pre-construction, we have the conversions, small multifamilies, large multifamilies. The third and final thing I want to talk about is my tips for success investing here in Portland. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I have my own opinions working with investors in this real estate market on how they're being successful. So first, buying an owner-occupied multifamily is a great opportunity to take advantage of this current scene that we have here with rent control. Talking with a lot of potential sellers, landlords didn't really keep up with rents. And I get it. I'm not trying to sound like an asshole who doesn't care about his tenants, but there's a lot of landlords that never rose rents, which was great for tenants because their rent stayed low, and it was great for landlords because they kept great tenants in place and they didn't have to have this turnover. The problem is rent control came in and locked that property up at those rents. It's stuck. It's not a great investment asset anymore. It's kind of, almost killed it from an investment standpoint. So an owner occupied, you don't have rent control. You're not controlled by rent control. So, if 3-bedroom family that's renting at 70% of market value, you can go in there and immediately raise rents to market, which a regular investor buying it as a pure investment property can't do. So that is a great strategy, is the owner occupied. The next strategy is converting to Section 8. Again, we're seeing these properties that honestly are like 50% of market value on rents. So with the rent control rules, you only can increase X percent per year. And, they're trying to change the rules and you never know what's going to happen. But as of today, March 2023, you're very limited on the spread that you can increase. So the numbers just don't work out unless you're buying it cash. The returns just aren't going to happen. Section 8 or any of these subsidized housing does allow you to get to those returns faster. In our marketplace, honestly, Section 8 is usually about 75% of market, 80% of market value. And every 6 months, at least the last couple of years, the state has increased what, they'll pay landlords for providing Section 8 housing, Maine fair housing. So if you have a property where rents are 50% of market, you can immediately jump to be within 20%. Yes, you're now kind of handicapped. You can never, bridge that gap, but at least you get there, and now your numbers are going to work. Honestly, those are the two best strategies I'm seeing right now, spring of 2023 in Portland, and that is buying owner-occupied or to convert to Section 8. Thank you for tuning in. I hope by understanding the Portland, Maine real estate investment market, you can better achieve your goals in your specific investment portfolio. Now, all this information was provided on high-level terms. It was not to be taken as client-level relationships. But if you want to talk further about your specific situation, click the first link in the description. Be happy to have a free, no strings attached introduction call. Also, if you found this interesting, be sure to subscribe. I'm going to be putting out more videos on the surrounding markets here in Portland, be it South Portland, Biddeford, Saco, Lewiston, Auburn. There's other opportunities to invest here in the greater Portland area that might fit your portfolio better. Anyways, till next time, talk soon.